Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
On ABC's M-Win in Washington, President Biden is vowing to help in the rescue after a 6.8 magnitude earthquake rocked Morocco. The latest coming up. Oh gosh, the humidity, it's back. 79 degrees. Oh, yesterday was so nice. We started at 74, low humidity. It's back, but hey, Mike says maybe we just have one more day, maybe a day and a half until we get that cool front.
A cool front. There you go. I like how you did that in air quotes. Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, September 11th. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Very short for me, but we're back to get you ready to start your work week.
Always a pleasure to have you back.
Thank you, guys.
RJ.
Yeah, appreciate it. I was hanging out with y'all last Friday, Saturday, so good to be with you to start the work week.
The man who never takes a break.
Nope. And he's still probably sweating from tailgating Saturday at the UTSA Texas State game.
Yeah, that was rough.
And yeah, it was really
the game itself. For me, it was a rough. But shout out UTSA.
Well, yes, congratulations. Sorry about your. Okay. Anyway, yesterday we did hit triple digits again. Of course, we had that drier start thanks to the rain that those storms late Saturday night. Humidity is back. It's going to be close today as far as triple digits, but guess what? Don't have any on the long range forecast. But like I said, it's still going to be on the hot side. And we are starting off very warm, as Sarah was alluding to. Lots of clear skies out there right now. 78 degrees, 79 Port SA, Stinson, 80 still at Canyon Lake. And in the hill country, a little more pleasant with low 60s for dew points. But these numbers are about 10 degrees higher than what they were at this time yesterday. The dew points back up into the 73, 74 range out there. So yes, you definitely feel the humidity when you step outside. Heat index 81 at the airport, 85 right now. Up there at Canyon Lake, 82 Stinson. Now, yesterday, again, like Saturday night, we had a few showers and a couple of thunderstorms that did pop up primarily as expected, confined out there in the hill country. We still have this northwesterly flow, and that's where you get those little, we kind of describe it as a dirty airflow. You get those little disturbances moving on through here. So that can then spark another stray shower, maybe a thunderstorm or two, primarily out to the northwest later on today. Moles on the moderate side. This is yesterday's count. Ragweed is low, and it is a green day for CPS Energy Conservation. Of course, you can scan the QR code, find out more information about that. 90 high temperature, at noon today, which is almost close to the normal high temperature, and then 98 for a high. It'll be a really close call. A lot of folks in your backyard may hit triple digits, not going for that out there at the airport. Like I said, a very close call, one or two of those storms. A better forecast, not sweater weather, but a better forecast as we go in, and especially heading in toward the upcoming weekend. Details in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, RJ.
Mike, thank you. San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers searching for a suspect in a murder case. So on May 17th last year, Jonathan Rodriguez was sitting in his car in a parking lot in the 1500 block of Babcock Road. That's when the suspect approached him, shooting and killing Rodriguez. The suspect then stole the victim's vehicle that was later recovered not too far from that crime scene. So if you have any information regarding this case, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers. That number on your screen right now, 210-224-STOP.
This morning, San Antonio police say this man you see on your screen right there, Zachary Serena, was arrested over the weekend after police received several complaints that he was frequently harassing and showing up to his victim's home. Serena was also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. Police arrested him at his home without incident, and he was booked into the Bexar County Jail. Now to the devastating earthquake out of Morocco that has killed more than 2,100 people.
That death toll still rising as rescue teams continue searching through rubble for any signs of life. As ABC's M-Win reports, some aid teams from other countries standing by, ready to assist.
This morning, video shows the violent shakes from the deadly 6.8 magnitude earthquake in Morocco, sending people fleeing for their lives. Here, panic at a wedding ceremony. This man barely escaping. The death toll still rising in Morocco's deadliest earthquake in more than 6 decades. At least 2,100 people killed, thousands more injured. Rebecca Tremblay visiting from Los Angeles.
That's when I realized something's going wrong. And all the walls literally felt like Play-Doh, and the floor just felt as if it was melting underneath my knees.
She ran outside with nothing but her phone.
I thought, I'm gonna die. This is a really bad earthquake. And then I called my mom, and I was thinking, this is the goodbyes. And started crying.
The epicenter high in the Atlas Mountains, just south of Marrakesh. Hundreds of first responders and aid workers, both local and international, helping clear debris and recover the dead. This father saying he and his family were at home when the earthquake hit. But his 8-year-old son never made it out. At least 17 aftershocks, including a magnitude 4.5 tremor, further damaging buildings, including this woman's family home. Some residents spending a third night in the open, waiting for food, water, and electricity. The Biden administration has reached out to the Moroccan government to help provide immediate assistance.
We're working expeditiously to ensure American citizens in Morocco are safe, standing ready to provide any necessary assistance to the Moroccan people as well.
The rescue will grow more challenging as teams traverse mountainous roads to reach the villages hardest hit. Morocco is asking for all the help they can get. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Today, Americans are looking back on the horror and legacy of 9/11. People will gather this morning at memorials, firehouses, city halls, campuses, and elsewhere to observe the 22nd anniversary of the deadliest terror attack on U.S. soil. Commemorations are planned at the attack sites at New York's World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and in many other places. President Joe Biden is due to join service members and their family at a ceremony on a military base in Anchorage, Alaska. His visit is a reminder that the impact of 9/11 was felt in every corner of the nation, however remote. The hijacked plane attacks claimed nearly 3,000 lives and reshaped American foreign policy.
President Joe Biden is wrapping up a visit to Vietnam by calling on two countries to improve their collaboration. So Biden met earlier today with government officials and business leaders from Vietnam, both sides spotlighting new deals and partnerships between the U.S. and Vietnam. Biden will also pay his respects at a memorial to his friend and former colleague John McCain. The late U.S. Senator from Arizona was held for more than 5 years as a prisoner during the Vietnam War. Biden and McCain were colleagues in the U.S. Senate.
Legendary Texas singer and songwriter Charlie Robison has died after turning 59 just a few days ago. The Bandera native Robison was a mainstay on country charts until a procedure on his throat left him unable to sing back in 2018. A family representative told the Associated Press that he died yesterday in a San Antonio hospital after suffering cardiac arrest. Tough news there for the country music industry, a very well-renowned singer-songwriter there, Charlie Robison. So tough to see that news this morning. All right, Sarah, looking at 437 right now, and as you mentioned, already seen 79 degrees. You feeling that humidity?
I am. My hair is extra hairspray in it this morning. All right, RJ, up next, despite the record heat, how area water-based businesses found new ways to find success during this hot summer.
And taking a look at TransGuide, first look at our cameras this morning, US 98 Leon Craig. Oh, we do see some flashing lights up in one of those directions there. I know Stephen Cavas was in the building. I saw him a little bit earlier, so he'll give us an update on the very latest US 98 Loop 410. Traffic moving along. Well, no traffic there right now, but yeah, we'll get an update with Stephen here, top of the 5 o'clock hour.
Look, I'm going to say it. We might be at the end of this triple-digit marathon. At least today, forecasted a high of 98, so that's a win.
Take it.
Hey, but Mike says more wins in our future with mid to higher 90s.
Yes.
He'll explain when we come back.
4:41 now on your Monday morning. Welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. And even with record-breaking heat and record low water levels, some businesses across Canyon Lake are still calling the summer of 2023 a success.
While struggles do exist, Avery Everett shows us how businesses found new ways outside of the water to find success this summer.
Darren Hammonds designed this home with customers in mind.
I just like to take care of people.
But this weekend, Equinox Inn
It's probably a better view outside.
at Canyon Lake is sitting empty.
This is one of 5 or 6 Friday nights in 6 years that we're off. And it's just kind of what do we do with our time now?
Hammond says September is one of her slower months,
But the picture that
but she's able to sit at ease, knowing this summer she had success.
June, July, and August were all our best months outside of 2022.
With record-breaking heat and ongoing drought, business owners across Comal County were concerned about what tourism would look like for summer of 2023.
Even a week after Labor Day, there's still some activity out here on Canyon Lake, but the water levels here are actually the lowest on record. I mean, I'm standing at the water's edge, and as you take a few steps back, you can see it's nothing but dry rocks and soil. And businesses say, well, that's a hard selling point.
So many of our boat ramps are closed because the boats can't enter the water safely. So that has put a strain on some of the outfitters that we refer people to.
The Chamber of Commerce says it learned a lesson during summer 2022's dry spell. And that was highlighting the Canyon Lake community, away from the lake itself.
I think what it's done is it's really pushed people outside their comfort zones out here to kind of look for other things to do. A lot of our business is rooted in small town, good, old-fashioned, just small business.
But this is a little library area.
To Hammonds, what's to come next is still unwritten.
People are waiting longer to book. And is it because of the weather? Is it because of the heat? Is it because of the economy? We don't know.
But she's going to keep making the beds and keeping the lights on, ready for her next round of guests. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
All right, it's 4:43 and 78 degrees.
Yeah, up next, why two That 70s Show's actors are apologizing to a judge.
In this morning's GMA First Look, backlash and an apology.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis posting this video on Instagram in response to backlash over their character letter to their former co-star Danny Masterson.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way.
The sentencing coming just 2 weeks after the 25th anniversary of That 70s Show premiere. Those scenes of laughter.
I'm fine. All I need is my buddy Hyde.
Now replaced with somber images of court and this apology.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you what Danny Masterson's accusers are saying this morning. With your GMA First Look, I'm Zoreen Shah, ABC News Los Angeles.
All right, we got our first taste of football this weekend here. The NFL now to a big night here in sports. Monday Night Football is officially back for the season.
Woo, go Cowboys. All right, the New York Jets hosting the Buffalo Bills. That game airing right here on ABC. And four-time MVP quarterback Aaron Rodgers making his Jets debut.
All right, should be a lot of fun. And as ABC's Rena Roy explains, Bills safety also, Damar Hamlin is returning to the field after a near-death experience.
An American tradition is back in full swing. Monday Night Football kicking off tonight for the NFL season.
You know, it's going to be a great atmosphere. Monday Night Football opener, you know, in New York City on 9/11. I mean, that's big time football.
Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin back on the field for his first regular season game since this life-threatening moment.
Well, this is the last thing you want to see.
When he suffered cardiac arrest during a Monday Night Football game last season. The team's training staff giving him CPR. Hamlin recently launching this PSA.
CPR saved my life. You see a guy like D-Ham go out there after a near-death experience and be able to put the helmet and shoulder pads on again and play the way he's been playing, it's very inspirational.
Meanwhile, all eyes also on four-time MVP quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who's making his highly anticipated debut with the New York Jets.
It'll be exciting. You know, Monday Night Football is great.
The team and fans hoping Rodgers can bring them back to the Super Bowl, a game they haven't played in more than 50 years.
We dream about playing Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, so it'll be fun to start the season out on Monday night.
You always got a chance. You got, Aaron back there, so it's up to us to make the plays and make everything right.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
You talk about the Cowboys winning.
I know.
My neighbors had their flag out.
I didn't get a chance to watch much of the game.
Well, neither did I, but I saw that, I went to bed and I was like, oh, they're still winning it by 30. Cool.
All right, taking a look at TransGuide right now. 281 at Grayson. Traffic moving pretty smooth there in our area there. I-37. Oh, the Alamo Dome Tower. I've actually not seen that TransGuide shot. That's
neither
cool.
have I. That was cool.
Yeah, that was neat.
Looks like something from the 90s. I don't know why. Got 90 vibes from it.
Okay, Mike. So you said that there's a little bit.
Well, no, I was going to go back to the Monday Night Football music.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing like that music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that goes back to.
Even if you're not like a major
back when,
football
yeah.
fan like myself,
Yeah.
where I just, watch here and there, the Cowboys, I get excited.
What do you think?
For tonight's game?
For tonight's game with the Jets.
You know what? I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers gets the win for the Jets to start the season. Yeah. Let's go there. I've been wrong on all my predictions this weekend, so if there's any Jets
Your
fans out there. Yeah.
fantasy team.
Fantasy
not too
team,
good.
kind of up and down.
It's the first
here and there. It's the first
weekend.
week. You know what? Just chalk it
Fine.
up to the first week.
I just think it's funny that, Joe Burrow signed a $300 million extension,
rough.
and
That was rough.
Bengals got.
Not great.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, back to the weather. As you were talking about, no triple digits in the forecast. So we're just going to jump right to that headline. That is absolutely fantastic news. It is going to be hot, but that magic number of 100 is not in the forecast. All right, we did have some pretty impressive clouds. This is looking off to the west yesterday. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture, because we had those showers and thunderstorms that popped up off there to the west again yesterday. Right now, we are starting off with mostly clear skies. Humidity is definitely back this morning. Yesterday, we had that nice break after those storms moved through. In the overnight hours Saturday, pulled down some drier air. Well, humidity is back, so that's what's holding us up in the mid-70s, and we will have then that lot of sunshine throughout the course of the day. Later on this afternoon, maybe a stray shower or two, especially off to the north and west, and that 98 for a high temperature. Nope, no triple digits. Now, in your backyard, it may hit triple digits. This is what I'm going for, obviously, out there at the airport. As I talked about off the top of the show, we still have this northwesterly flow in the atmosphere, so that's why up there to the north and northwest, a stray shower or two, a couple of clouds here and there, going to be few and far between at best. Today is not a great day to try and see a little bit of rain around here, but as we go into tomorrow, then perhaps a slightly better chance for a shower or two. Now let's jump ahead to Thursday, and that's going to be a better, now granted, long-range model, broad brush, but better chance for a couple of showers around here, a few thunderstorms later Thursday into Friday, and then as we go into Saturday as well as Sunday. It's not going to rain constantly. Not everybody's going to be seeing it, but that'll be the better chance for some rain. But again, look at that 7-day forecast. Just soak that in. No triple digits. Again, it's going to be a really close call today with 98, but we're going for 96s, 95s. Still going to be on the hot side, obviously. The normal high temperature right now is 91, but we will get cooler, relatively speaking, by the weekend, and a slightly better chance for some rain by the weekend. This is not going to be, again, any sort of a drought buster or anything like that, but at least there's going to be a few of them out there.
91s and new 70s.
Yep.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
Could have used that weather this past weekend with the, how hot it was.
RJ is still dehydrated
Still recovering on that one.
from that tailgate in the Alamo Dome.
Still recovering. It was a lot of fun out there, though. All right, guys, 4:53 now and 78 degrees outside.
Up next, your first look at Austin Butler's next film, plus a popular Monsters new TV series.
4:56, welcome back. Austin Butler and Godzilla each make their new return.
That's a
new
pair.
projects. Yeah.
Elvis and
together.
Godzilla.
Yeah, I was.
Can you imagine a Godzilla Elvis? That's a movie I want to see. All right, CNN's Rick Damagella has the details in today's Hollywood Minute.
I want you to quit writing.
Don't ask that.
Austin Butler hits the road. The actor stars alongside Tom Hardy and Jodie Comer in the upcoming drama The Bike Riders. This is your first look at the period film, which follows a biker gang in 1960 Chicago and is set to hit theaters on December 1st.
She's an experiment.
Good evening.
Poor Things wins big at the Venice Film Festival. The surrealist comedy starring Emma Stone nabbed the prestigious Golden Lion Prize at the annual festival, which honors the event's best film. Moviegoers can see what the buzz is about when Poor Things arrives in theaters on December 8th.
If you come with me, you'll know everything, I promise.
Kurt Russell takes on Godzilla. The beloved monster clobbers through the small screen in the new series Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, and is joined by an assortment of other massive creatures causing severe destruction. The 10-episode show premieres on Apple TV Plus on November 17th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
All right, I'm still thinking about your Godzilla.
Godzilla Elvis.
Yeah, shake or
It's 4:57 in the morning on a Monday.
All right, 4:57 right now and 78 degrees outside.
Okay, on a serious note, all across the country today, people will pause again and remember the tragic events of September 11th. Up next, why 22 years later, the wounds of that day are still very fresh in the lives of so many Americans.
And a car stolen by teenagers crashes into a San Antonio police vehicle. Up next, how Bexar County authorities are responding to a 281% increase of juveniles stealing cars.
Stephen Cavazos just walked in with a Celsius this morning on a Monday. So you know he's going to have our traffic for us all fired up. We're fired up here. We'll be right back.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning, the nation pauses to pay tribute to those lost in the 9/11 attacks 22 years ago.
Unfortunately, the exposure of that day and the days that followed during the rescue and recovery efforts have really started to take its toll.
Up next, why 40% of those lost still unidentified.
And taking a look outside live cam on your Monday morning, we're expecting a little bit of a change here. The weather, and Mike's standing by to give us the very latest forecast. And welcome to Good Morning San Antonio. It is Monday, September 11th.
Good morning. It's so good to have you, RJ.
Yeah, definitely an early wake-up call. I didn't get a chance to watch the Cowboys game, but I saw that they took care of business. But still, glad to be hanging out with you guys.
It was like, I think, a little after halftime, and I was like, oh, they're still up by 30.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of faith in my boys, but they did it. Anyways.
Shocked the world.
Was that the Giants' worst loss in
like forever?
Yeah.
40-0.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. All right, nice start this morning, although the humidity is back. Yesterday, if you were up early, it was a really pleasant morning, and now look at that bottom number is at 74. Dew point that high means, yes, you will be greeted by the humidity when you step outside. 79 is the current temperature, the normal low, 71, so obviously way above that. What don't you see on that graph? No triple digits. 98, I know it's only 2 degrees, but psychologically that just makes a world of difference out there. Of course, in your backyard, in some areas may be up to 100. The aquifer yesterday did go up 9/10 of a foot. And then as far as the allergens, mold is moderate and ragweed is on the low side. Want to take another view back outside, looking off to the east, and look at the little sliver of a moon out there. It looks like a little Cheshire cat smiling face. It is the waning crescent moon. It's going to be a new moon on Friday, and we should have a decent looking sunrise this morning, maybe 1 or 2 clouds hanging around here. Heat index, when you factor in all that humidity, feels like 82 at the airport. Stinson, Canyon Lake, as well as Port SA. A little more pleasant out in portions of the hill country with slightly lower humidity. So mostly clear, again, more humid in the metropolitan area, a little bit lower in the hill country. And then later on today, upper 90s. There's a chance for a storm off to the northwest, like Saturday night, like last night with this northwesterly flow in the atmosphere. You get these little disturbances in here. So it's not a great chance of rain, but at least there are going to be a couple of them out there. Some folks will get some free lawn watering. Mid-upper 90s midweek. Still no triple digits, not any cold snap, but we'll take a few degrees here and there, 1 or 2, few storms here and there, and then a slightly better chance for some showers over the weekend. And we're going to be staying with the extra cloud cover in the mid to lower 90s going into the weekend. So a promising forecast, no triple digits. That's the best news, I think. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, good morning, Mr. Cavazos. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, we are taking a look at 37 at the Alamo Dome, Sarah's new favorite shot here, 1995, circa 1995. Yeah, definitely getting a different view here from our friends over at TransGuide. It's quite the treat because we're getting a wide view of I-37 north and southbound lanes. Very quiet start this morning, but Alamo City looks beautiful as we get this week rolling here. Having some clicker problems with my remote, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my keyboard to show you what the world is looking like this morning. All green on the screen, folks, not detecting any problems. We did, of course, have overnight construction that was taking place along Loop 1604. That led to big delays. I always get caught up in that. But as we take a look right now around town, a lot of those overnight construction projects have already cleared out. And let's go ahead and take a look at travel times while we're at it. If you plan on hitting the roads and heading right here to the Alamo City, it's still green from Seguin along I-10 westbound with 29 minutes at this hour. 87 northbound. If you're heading in from Livonia this early, it's 33 minutes for you. And for our friends down in Floresville, expect a 29-minute commute if you plan on hitting the roads and getting your day started early. But one last look at 37 at the Alamo Dome Tower. The roads are quiet right now, but I'll have another update for you. More construction is on the way. I'll tell you where in the next few minutes. RJ?
Thank you very much, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio fire crews had to rescue 2 women from a burning duplex overnight. This happened in the 1300 block of Bayou Drive on the city's west side near Marbach. Firefighters say that the fire spread to another duplex. Everyone made it out safely. However, firefighters say that a dog died during the fire. Crews say that they were able to knock down the fire quickly once they got there and say that it could have been worse.
Today, the impeachment trial continues for Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton over corruption allegations. So Paxton's accused of bribery and abuse of office. The trial started last Tuesday, and since then, a list of former deputies have testified against him. So on Friday, their testimony included mention of an extramarital affair. In the week ahead, Paxton's lawyers are expected to start calling witnesses. At the end, the Senate members will serve as the jury. So a 2/3 majority is needed to convict Paxton and remove him from office.
And happening today, Police Chief William McManus and District Attorney Joe Gonzalez will be at a District 4 Public Safety Town Hall. The town hall is scheduled to start at 6 o'clock this evening at the St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church. That's on Marbach Road. We plan to live stream it on all of our KSAT platforms.
And driver's license offices around Texas are also planning to reopen today after being closed for more than a week. The Texas Department of Public Safety began changing their computer system back on September 1st, but they underestimated how long it would take to upgrade it. So anyone who had an appointment between September 5th through the 8th and hasn't rescheduled yet is asked to email Texas DPS customer service with your name and preferred driver's license office for help.
A San Antonio police officer was taken to the hospital this past weekend after his police unit collided with a stolen car. Police tell our Camelia Juarez this is the latest instance in a troubling trend they're seeing.
I just heard a loud bang, boom, and what's going on?
That loud boom was the sound of a stolen car crashing into a San Antonio police car. This woman was staying at the Studio Suites Hotel just off of I-10. When she looked out her window, she saw several juveniles running and officers chasing them.
I just seen the 2 juveniles running, and then I seen the cop like right behind them stop, but I couldn't see if it was a taser in his hand or a gun, I don't know.
But he was calling at them to
yeah, like stop, stop.
Authorities say those 3 juveniles who ran out of the car were eventually caught, and the officer in the police car involved in the crash was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
It was a helicopter. He was just going around everywhere, and then another one, a drone came down. It's like, oh God.
A sergeant on scene says the Raven, or drone team, was following the car because it was reported stolen. Helicopters tracked the stolen car to the motel. And when that officer involved in the crash responded to the scene, that's when the juvenile driving the stolen car crashed into the patrol car.
And then I have kids, so it's even a scarier situation.
Chief Probation Officer Jill Mata deals with juveniles who are referred to the Juvenile Probation Department.
I mean, stolen cars have always been an issue, but we are seeing an uptick of young people stealing those cars.
Based on data from July of last year to this year, there's been a 281% increase of juveniles in Bexar County referred for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle or stealing cars. Mata says the kids they see involved in these kinds of crimes are usually working in a larger illegal organization.
We would surmise it's because they're working with an organization to have those cars resold.
Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
In some of your morning headlines today marks 22 years since the attacks of 9/11, and for many Americans, that September morning is a distant memory.
But for many others, the pain is a constant presence. Their stories are ones we cannot and should not forget. Here's ABC's Derek Dennis.
Last night, the tribute in lights shining upward during a test hours before the official tribute to the victims of the World Trade Center attacks 22 years ago today. Robert Gray worked for NORAD that day, monitoring U.S. airspace. He visited the World Trade Center site last night.
As we walked into this area, it made me start to weep.
2,753 people died in Lower Manhattan that day, and just this weekend, the remains of 2 more were identified by the medical examiner. 40% of those lost are still unidentified.
We saw this plane flying at a very low altitude, extremely fast, but was so low I could read on the fuselage the word American.
Joe Pfeiffer was the first fire chief on the scene. His job sending firefighters in to save lives, including his own brother, Kevin.
I ordered him, as I ordered many of my other fire officers, to take their unit and go upstairs to evacuate the building.
Kevin died in the collapse of the towers, but many others were saved by the men and women who rushed into those buildings, knowing they might not come out alive. James Brosey, president of the Uniformed Fire Officers Association, lost his father, a fire department lieutenant who responded to the scene. He died just this year from a 9/11 related cancer. 341 members of New York's fire department have now succumbed to ground zero related illnesses.
Unfortunately, the exposure of that day and the days that followed during the rescue and recovery efforts have really started to take its toll. My brother was also in the collapse at the time. He has some other debilitating side effects from that exposure as well.
For Robert Gray, reflecting at the site last night, the lesson 22 years later is this:
we need to be ready for anything.
The testing of remains all these years later is part of a solemn pledge to keep identifying victims for as long as it takes so that the families of as many victims as possible can have closure. ABC News Live will bring you coverage of today's remembrance services throughout the day. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
It's 5:11 and 78 degrees.
All right, still ahead, how a new service on Uber is helping get your everyday tasks done with just a push of a button.
Plus, even though we're seeing lower temps this week, the sun can still be a problem for our skin. Up next, important signs of skin cancer you need to double check on.
All right, taking a look at live cam to start your work week Monday morning. Things looking pretty good out there right now. Expecting some changes in the forecast. Finally. We'll get to Mike here coming up in just a little bit. 5:15, welcome back. Well, it may almost be fall. We're getting there, but it's still very hot outside, and the sun can cause a lot of damage to your skin.
So there are 4 main types of cancers that can happen from too much sun exposure. So those are melanoma, Merkel cell carcinoma, and a carcinoma, basal cell carcinoma.
We live in a place that's just constantly bombarded with sun and ultraviolet rays, and because of that, the risk of skin cancer in our community is very high.
All right, there are many warning signs you should look out for if you think you may have a form of skin cancer. Here are some of those. Look for any new moles on your body or any previous moles that are changing in color, shape, or size. Any new red spots can be a sign of cancer, as well as any new enlarging or changing areas of the skin.
It's important to remember sunscreen, of course, plays a huge part in protecting yourself from the sun, from any potential skin cancers.
People who get a sunburn today, 20, 30 years from now, they'll still be potentially at increased risk for getting skin cancer because of that sunburn they might have had when they were 20.
So if you feel like something is off with your skin, Dr. Miller says to start Center for Cancer Care recommends you going to a doctor as soon as you can. The sooner anything is caught, the better chance you have of being safe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like one of the rules of our household is always wear sunblock anytime we're outside.
Just wear full zinc.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, always make sure it takes care of your skin there. Okay, 5:16 now, and we are looking at 78 degrees to start your work week.
Up next, the popular gaming platform Roblox will finally be available on PlayStation. We'll tell you when it's launching.
All right, plus why Google Maps is now allowing users to save places with emojis.
Here's your parachute. Packed it myself.
Certain it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you for imprint certain? Certainty matters. Like the certainty of congratulating coworkers or saying thank you for being a customer with promotional products from 4imprint. Our expert team is dedicated to making your satisfaction a certainty.
Packed it myself.
Land the perfect products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Sometimes Jonah wrestles with falling asleep, so he takes ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, for a better night's sleep. So now, he wakes up feeling like himself, the reigning Family Room middleweight champion. Better days start with ZzzQuil nights.
Once in a lifetime, it's never enough. Never enough. When I wear diamonds, I feel powerful. I feel on top of the world. Diamonds, diamonds, diamonds. For all Pandora, lab-grown diamonds.
We're having fun today on a Monday morning. Steven.
Yeah, we're using chairs right.
We are,
today,
yeah,
which is really neat. So mine's this low. I'm gonna have to go ahead and find a platform for that. But you know what? Hey, we are keeping a close eye on the roadways. Things look really great right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the TransGuide cameras. We can go ahead and take a look at TransGuide. Guys, things are moving along just fine on the roadways. There's Sarah's new favorite shot, 37 at Alamo Dome Tower, but everywhere else around town looks pretty quiet. I've not seen major issues that would slow you down if you plan on hitting the roads, but let's take a look at some of the green on the screen that you can expect to see if you plan on hitting the roadways this early in the morning. Really want to take a look at what's happening here, though, along FM 1535. Northwest Military Highway. We have curb and sidewalk installation that will take place. This takes us to the end of the work week, Friday, September 15th, from 7 in the morning to 6 in the evening. So crews will be out there for about 11 hours, alternating lane closures in both directions from Loop 1604 to Hebner Road. But you can always head over to ksat.com/traffic and scan this QR code. That takes you directly there. All that text that you just saw on the screen will be on your phone. So head over there for all the closures that are happening in our area. Mike, another week of closures. I imagine, though, there's some relief in the forecast. Just a bit, right?
A little bit, yeah. We'll take anything this time of year, especially after 74 days of triple-digit temperatures. Yeah, we racked up 74 yesterday. A lot of folks, especially out to the west, were looking at those clouds way out there to the west going, come on in here. They moved basically straight down to the south. At least there were a few clouds out there. We'll have maybe one or two of them today, but today is going to be the hottest day of the week, although not forecasting 100 out there at the airport. We have got the moon has risen now up behind that banner. It's that little sliver waning crescent moon out there. A lot of clear skies. Should be good looking sunrise this morning. Temperatures, we do have a lot more humidity out there as compared to yesterday, so we're going to be just staying mid 70s. That's it, and then warming up pretty quickly, already basically up to the normal high at noon, which is 91 degrees, and then we are going to top off. We're going for 98 later on today. There's that 10% chance for a stray shower or two, primarily off to the north and west. So here's the satellite picture. Again, we had, Saturday night, we had the batch of rain that moved right down through San Antonio. Yesterday, late in the afternoon, we had those scattered showers and thunderstorms that moved through portions of the hill country as expected. And yeah, folks here were going, come on, but there will be one or two of them maybe today. I wouldn't count on a lot. I mean, computer models are really not very bullish on any sort of rain around here. We are going to be watching out for one of those storm complexes to try to develop late tonight up to the north, and perhaps a couple of leftovers in northern portions of our viewing area by early tomorrow. So here's what's going on. Obviously, the high has started to weaken a little bit. It is working its way off to the south and west, and this big trough is developing up there around the Great Lakes. So that's what's kind of pushing that down there. But this thing's not giving up the fight too easily, so it's still going to be in the vicinity, and the front, which is going to move on through here, won't just come through with gangbusters. I mean, it's still going to be just kind of hanging in the area. Plus, we've got this zonal airflow, which means there's nothing really shoving that thing in here. It will be in the vicinity by the weekend. The front will be, so that's why we have that slightly better chance for some rain going in toward the weekend, but not anything just gangbusters. At least we'll continue downward with temperatures. Going to be hovering mid-90s over the weekend, midweek. 20% chance for some rain. A little bit better shot at some rain and lower temperatures coming up this weekend. No triple digits on the 7-day. We'll be back after this.
In today's Tech Bites, you may soon be able to Uber your chores. Bloomberg reports Uber is now working on a service to rival TaskRabbit, which connects people who need to get something done with local workers. It's unclear what types of services would be available and no word on a possible debut. Roblox is headed to PlayStation. The popular gaming platform for kids is only available now on computers and mobile devices, but it's launching on PlayStation 4 and 5 next month. A recent survey found 2/3 of children ages 9 to 12 play Roblox. And you can now customize your saved places in Google Maps using emojis. Just tap Saved on the bottom menu, create a new list, then add your emoji of choice. So now you can mark your favorite pizza spot with a slice or pick a coffee cup for your top coffee spot. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
You can do anything with emojis nowadays.
Heart emoji, smiley emoji.
All the emojis.
My favorite
everywhere.
is the emoji that's like melting. That's the one I've been using
That's
a
the
lot.
one, yeah,
The melting
yeah.
emoji.
I think that describes pretty much what we've been seeing out there. All right, guys, right now it is 5:28 and 79 degrees.
The hunt is still on for a 34-year-old convicted killer who escaped prison in Pennsylvania. Up next, why it's taking so long to find him and how he changed his appearance over the weekend.
Plus, a first look at the newest iPhone debuting this week, along with new features that users have been asking for a long time.
And ahead on GMSA at 6, Victory Monday is here for the Cowboys. Yes, let's go Cowboys. After a huge win last night in primetime, the highlights, that's still ahead.
This morning, a prison escapee is out of Pennsylvania and still on the run.
I wish that he had not been able to slip through there. But that does happen sometimes.
They need to bring the National Guard out now. Enough's enough.
Up next, why a bounty hunter says it's especially tough to catch any fugitive.
79 degrees, the humidity is back. I like to say this is the end of our summer marathon race because those cooler temps, I'm using air quotes now, we can see them. They are there at the finish line. Mike will let us know about those in just a bit.
Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, September 11th, and we have the chair situation figured out.
We do. We've raised our standards here, but it's good to be up here with you guys.
Absolutely.
And thanks for the chair, Mike.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Sorry about the wrong one to begin with, but no triple digits in the forecast. Now, it's still going to be very hot. I mean, we're talking just 1 or 2 degrees.
Right.
It's that psychological victory, though, when, 98 as opposed to 100. And we've got a lot of clear skies out there this morning. 1 or 2 clouds are hanging around here and there. We're going to have a nice looking sunrise, kind of like what we had yesterday. We were watching the little crescent moon rise as well. It is the waning crescent. It's going to be new moon on Friday. Temperature right now still is very warm. We're still 8 degrees above normal, 79, and a lot of that's due to the fact that got a lot more humidity out there, especially compared to yesterday. That number is dew point's basically 10 degrees above what it was at this time yesterday morning. Of course, we had that dry air that came in behind some of those thunderstorms that moved through Saturday night. And that's actually the situation that you're experiencing out there in parts of the hill country. You've got some upper 60s, but drier air, especially further out in the hill country. 82 is what it feels like here in town. Same thing, Port SA, Stinson, Canyon Lake, 78 up the road in New Braunfels. Molds on the moderate side. Ragweed is low. The updated count in a couple of hours. 90 at noon, 98 high temperature. It's not 100, so we'll take it now. Of course, maybe 100 in your backyard. And if you're in the direct sun, it's going to feel, of course, hotter than that. A storm to the west and to the northwest today. I just have a storm out there. Very small chance. I think even lesser chance than what we had around here yesterday. However, we'll still keep a couple of them in the forecast, a couple of rain chances in through the middle portion of the week, and that'll go up slightly as we go in toward the weekend. And also high temperatures, which will still stay warm midweek, will be dropping down as we head in toward the weekend. We'll take a look at all those numbers coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, any big problems out there?
Well, Mike, I would say that I hope drivers pack their patience this morning here along 90 at Leon Creek. Check out this backup behind me. We do have a slowdown that's been reported in the area, and that is because we have some overnight construction that should have wrapped by 5 this morning, but looks like crews may be experiencing some type of delay out there. I'll get on the phone with our friends at TransGuide and see if they can get us an update, but you can see that traffic is pretty much coming to a standstill there, and it is in a very busy spot. Detected right there in the eastbound lanes, and it's just before State Highway 151, not too far from Leon Creek is where I'm map has picked that up. So be on the lookout if you have to travel through there this early in the morning. It's never a good sign, but the good news is there's not a lot of people out there this early. So we're seeing obviously a standstill there with traffic, but that should be moving pretty soon. Taking a look at the travel times, we're not really seeing a slowdown there either along US 90. It's still about 28 minutes at this hour. We haven't gone into the yellow or red just yet, but I'll keep a close eye on that. Same goes at Pleasant Drive from 37 northbound if you're heading in from Pleasanton with 28 minutes and a 15-minute drive time if you're heading in from Lytle this early in the morning along I-35. But I do want to get it back here. Again, traffic, we'll find out exactly what's going on with the project out there and if there are any delays and when this will exactly wrap up. But let's hope drivers will get moving here pretty soon. Sarah?
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, a frightening experience overnight is giving way to some tough days ahead. So 5 people are in need of new homes after a fire inside their duplex. Our Katrina Weber live near downtown with that story. So Katrina, we understand some of those people had to be rescued.
Well, that's right. Firefighters say they did rescue 2 women. 3 other people got out of those homes on their own, and that was after 2 sets of duplexes caught fire just before midnight. The firefighters were able to race to that West Side neighborhood just in time to help those people, but they were not able to save one pet. A dog died. The homes are on a street called Bayou Drive near Marbach Road and Hunt Lane. Firefighters found the 3 people already outside their home, and again, they did have to go in and help 2 women get out. Some of the people required medical attention. They got it right there on the scene. Firefighters were not able to say right away what caused the fire. They did call in investigators to try to sort that out, but again, they say those 2 duplexes did burn, and between those 2 buildings, 5 people now looking for new homes. Reporting live near downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Today marks day 12 of the manhunt for a prison escapee in Pennsylvania.
Hundreds of officers have now joined the nationwide hunt for the convicted killer. And as CNN's John Lawrence reports, authorities say he was spotted over the weekend with a new appearance.
Danilo Cavalcante is still at large, and residents of eastern Pennsylvania are concerned.
I think I'm going to stay with my sister tonight, especially if they don't catch him.
They need to bring the National Guard out now. Enough's enough.
The 34-year-old convicted killer broke out of Chester County Prison on August 31st, and over the weekend, according to the authorities, Cavalcante was able to get past the perimeter police set up around the prison.
I wish that he had not been able to slip through there, but that does happen sometimes, and that's why we don't simply rest on our laurels and say, okay, we're going to take one approach.
The hunt for Cavalcante has now moved to northern Chester County.
In a fugitive investigation, it's very tough to be proactive because you can't anticipate the human factor. We don't know what the fugitive is going to do.
A $20,000 reward is being offered in connection to Cavalcante's capture, and police are certain it's only a matter of time before he's back behind bars.
His choice is to go to prison for the rest of his life. He chooses not to do that. Unfortunately, that is not what's going to prevail in the long run.
The key to this is going to be that, law enforcement can make mistakes, but he can only make one. He will be coming back.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
People in Morocco slept in the streets of Marrakesh for a 3rd straight night as soldiers and international aid teams start to help the areas hit hardest by the historic earthquake there. The disaster killed more than 2,000 people, a number that is expected to rise. The United Nations estimated that 300,000 people were affected by the magnitude 6.8 quake. Amid offers from several countries, Moroccan officials said that they are accepting international aid from just 4 countries at the moment: Spain, Qatar, Britain, and the United Arab Emirates. Some foreign search and rescue teams arrived over the weekend.
Well, Kailua, one of the most active volcanoes in the world, began erupting yesterday in Hawaii after a 2-month pause. So far, the glowing lava is at a safe distance from people and structures in a national park on the Big Island. The Hawaii Volcano Observatory says gases released by the eruption will cause volcanic smog downwind of the volcano. So Kailua is Hawaii's 2nd largest volcano. It erupted from September 2021 until last December. A 2018 eruption destroyed more than 700 homes.
All right, time now is 5:40 and 79 degrees. People getting up and about on your Monday morning.
Okay, the iPhone 15 is set to be unveiled this week. Up next, the new feature it's expected to have that many users have been asking for years.
And taking a look outside, live cam, city of San Antonio. Traffic moving pretty good out there. We're going to give you the very latest on some potential changes here in our forecast. Also, Stephen Cavazos is checking on our roadways. We will be right back.
In your morning consumer headlines, the new iPhone expected to have one significant change when it's unveiled next week. So the iPhone 15 is rumored to ditch Apple's Lightning charger. That's kind of exciting, in favor of USB-C charging. So this could help streamline the charging process across various devices and brands. However, it's still unclear if the shift to USB-C will happen for all new iPhone 15 models or only for the Pro devices. Oh, they're going to make you pay more to get that. So the iPhone 15 is expected to be unveiled at a launch event at Apple's headquarters in California.
All right, speaking of California, some Disneyland annual pass holders will soon be getting a check in the mail. That's after Walt Disney Company agreed to pay more than $9 million to settle a class action lawsuit accusing them of deceptive business practices. The suit alleges that some Magic Key pass holders were unable to make park reservations on certain days in 2021. That's despite being promised no blackout dates for entry at the Anaheim, California parks. The thousands of people who were eligible to participate in the lawsuit will get about $67 each. All right, time now right now is 5:54 as we're getting you up and ready to go here on your Monday morning. 78 degrees outside.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, up next, why President Biden is facing criticism as he seeks to counter China's influence in the Indo-Pacific region and bolster ties with Asian countries.
5:48, welcome back. President Biden on the world stage and facing criticism as he seeks to counter China's influence in the Indo-Pacific region and bolster ties with Asian countries.
As ABC's Selena Wang reports, the president was welcomed in Vietnam this weekend by the country's leaders.
With growing concerns over China's influence in Southeast Asia, President Biden in Vietnam agreeing to a new strategic partnership, upgrading America to the highest Vietnamese diplomatic status.
The United States is a Pacific nation, and we're not going anywhere.
The move seen as part of the administration's effort to counter Chinese influence in the region.
It's not about containing China. It's about having a stable base in the Indo-Pacific.
The partnership, a stunning reversal less than 50 years after the end of the Vietnam War. But the U.S. relationship with Vietnam, still a delicate one. Like China, Vietnam is a one-party communist state. Human rights advocates criticizing President Biden for partnering with the Vietnamese government and associating with other authoritarian regimes globally. At the G20 summit in India on Saturday, which China's President Xi did not attend, Biden smiling and shaking hands with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Biden had previously promised to make Saudi Arabia a pariah after the killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. White House officials defending the administration's diplomatic efforts.
Was the president compromising on ideals here?
Absolutely not. The fact is that there are some autocratic nations in the world, autocratic nations in many ways where we do share some interest and we do share some common challenges.
And the administration is also defending itself for co-signing a watered-down declaration at that G20 summit that does not explicitly call out Russia for its invasion of Ukraine, instead acknowledging that Ukrainians are, quote, suffering. Ukraine calling the document nothing to be proud of. Selena Wang, ABC News, Hanoi, Vietnam.
It's 5:50 and 79 degrees.
Yeah, Stephen Cavazos got the Celsius going over there.
That's gone.
Getting ready to go.
Yeah.
On a Monday morning.
That's already.
So you're fueled.
Yes, we're fueled, ready to go. Hopefully drivers are as well. And as I mentioned earlier, hopefully they have some patience here along 90. We have some road work that looks like there are some delays out there. Did talk to our friends at TransGuide a few minutes ago, and we are hearing that there may be reports that this is slowing folks down out there in terms of the project. And you can see behind me, we still have those barricades up. So just be on the lookout if you have to travel eastbound along 90. You see the slowdown happening. It's It's just before 151, so just pack some patience if you travel through there. Again, we do have crews that may be having some sort of delay. We'll work to get that clarified. But as we give you a wide look at the map, thankfully there is some relief. Plenty of quiet roadways is how we are beginning our work week. But as we take a look at the next day on Tuesday, there will be some drilling work taking place here along 151 over on the west side. That takes us up to Friday, September 15th. Again, that work begins at 9 in the morning and wraps at 3 in the afternoon. There will be turnaround closures in both directions right there at Hunt Lane. So always stuff happening over on the west side of San Antonio. So just plan your commute ahead of time. Head over to ksat.com/traffic. Full list of closures is on our website, and hopefully this project will wrap pretty soon, guys.
Yeah, that'd definitely be nice to get some traffic going there on the west side.
Yeah.
Mike, we're seeing some good stuff, some good news here, hopefully.
The best news is there are no triple digits on the 7-day forecast. Now, it's still going to be 98 today, but and it's going to feel like 100 in some areas, and your backyard may hit 100. But you know what? It's that psychological victory. And yes, Oscar says he is a cloud connoisseur, some of the leftover clouds from those storms out to the west, and I think we would all love a nice big cloud connoisseurs if a few more come on in here. We're not going to have many today, but over the next few days, a couple of extra ones. We don't have a whole lot in the way of clouds this morning. Going to have a good-looking sunrise. And here's what is going on with the tropics, first of all. We've out there been watching Hurricane Lee, which was a Category 5, weakened down to a 2. Now it has regained some strength, and the forecast is still going to take it just to the north of all of the islands out here, the Antilles, the Bahamas, and it's going to make that right-hand turn heading up toward Bermuda. So that's going to take a pretty good smack, Bermuda is, and then you're going to have to watch it along the eastern seaboard up there in New England just because of a lot of high surf, although it is forecast not to move in right around Maine and off into some of the islands of Canada up there over the course of about the next week. Temperatures mid-70s this morning, so we're still well above normal. More humidity this morning than what we had yesterday after some of those showers and storms moved through here Saturday night. 90 at noon, just about the normal high temperature, and then we are going to top off at 98. Yeah, no triple digits out there. So it's little victories and 10% chance for one or two of those showers. Not any big deal as far as rain. We still have this northwesterly airflow in the atmosphere, and that's why we had some of those storms Saturday night, yesterday out to the west, and that will be the situation, at least one or two of them today. Computer models are not that bullish on that, and really not much of anything through the middle portion of the week, one or two of them here and there. But once we get into the weekend, then we're going to start to see a somewhat better chance for some showers and thunderstorms around here going into Saturday, going into Sunday as well. And the high continues to kind of weaken, but it's not going away as of yet. We're still going to be dominating up in the Great Lakes with that big trough, and that's what's going to try and push the front in here. But it doesn't have a whole lot of support upstairs in the atmosphere. You'd like to see these upper level wind lines coming in straight out of Canada. That won't occur until later on in the fall, but at least that front's going to sort of lie in the area, and that's going to be the case going into the weekend. That's why we have that little bit better chance for some rain going into the weekend. We're 98 today, mid-90s, mid-upperish 90s through the middle part of the week. Then we have that better chance, not sure thing, but a better chance for rain Friday into the weekend, and mid to lower 90s for high temperatures this weekend. More after this.
Coming up on GMA, we are live on the scene of that devastating earthquake in Morocco. Crews still searching for survivors and the death toll unfortunately climbing. We're going to have the latest there. Plus, tracking Lee, it has stayed out in the open ocean and will, making its slow way toward the East Coast, but then making that all-important turn. I will detail the track and all of the players as to where it goes and when. That and so much more coming up right here on GMA.
Ahead in our next hour here of GMSA, week 2 of the Ken Paxton trial is set to start. Kicks off later today in Austin. What you can expect this week from both sides. And up next, legendary Texas singer and songwriter Charlie Robinson is being remembered after his sudden passing at age 59. And taking a look at TransGuide, we've been following the very latest there at 90 at Couples. Saw some construction problems a little bit earlier. Stephen Cavazos is following the latest on the roads. Mike Osterhage is in the building. We'll be right back.
Right now on GMSA, San Antonio firefighters say a blaze spread from one building to another as they try to put it out. What we were able to learn from the scene this morning. Plus,
And then I called my mom, and I was thinking, this is the goodbyes.
Recovery efforts are underway in Morocco after a devastating earthquake killed thousands. The latest on the ground and what a survivor is saying about it this morning.
79 degrees. It's the end of the race, the triple-digit race marathon that we've been running all summer. And there is hope in sight. We can see the finish line, according to Mike. He'll explain in just a bit.
Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Yeah, it feels like a marathon. Yeah, after all those 100-degree days, hopefully some good news here coming up later on this week. Good morning at 6 o'clock on your Monday, September 11th.
Good morning. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Mike, you have some good news for us, even though, it's still going to be hot today.
Right.
You said it's a psychological win.
Yes. Yesterday we hit 100, day number 74 this summer of triple-digit temperatures. Today, 98. 2 degrees, but we'll take anything, and then slowly, whittle off a degree here or there the rest of the week, and we'll finally drop down a little bit by the weekend, and some very small rain chances as well. Once again, yesterday we had a couple of showers, thunderstorms off in portions of the hill country as expected. Of course, we had that little batch of those clusters of storms that moved through on Saturday night. 79 degrees right now. It's very humid out there. We've got dew point temperatures back up in the mid 70s. Unlike yesterday morning, where we had that little break in the humidity, thanks to the drier air pulled down from Saturday night's storms. A little bit more of a pleasant out in portions of the hill country. Heat index reading 83 Canyon Lake, 82 at the airport, as well as at Stinson. And we do have moderate mold, ragweeds on the low side. The updated count is going to be coming out a little bit later on this morning. Temperatures, we're going to be warming back up in through the 80s to 90 at noon. Normal high temperature is 91, so we're up to normal at noon, and then we of course add to that. But yes, 98 for a high temperature later on today. 10% chance for another stray shower or two, primarily off to the northwest. I think an even lesser chance than what we had yesterday as far as rain is concerned. We'll still keep a couple of shower storms around the rest of the week. Temperatures, yeah, they're still going to be on the hot side. No triple digits, though. And then the better chance of rain, not great, but better, comes in here for the weekend and some lower temperatures. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, what's going on?
Well, Mike, our eyes are all over US 90 right now, and that is because we have had those flashing lights out there for a little while. Don't be too worried about it. It is just road work that's taking place. I did talk to our friends at TransGuide, and it appears that these crews maybe have some sort of delay with the project. Obviously, that's led to a few slowdowns along US 90, but hopefully that will be picking up pretty soon. That project should have wrapped at 5 this morning. But again, no major slowdowns are reported at this hour, but give it some time. If we still see those flashing lights out there around 6:30 or 6:45, that could lead to big delays for folks that are heading in from Castroville. Thankfully, no delays this early in the morning back here in the metropolitan area. And if you are traveling into San Antonio this early, let's get a look at those travel times here for you. I-10 eastbound, that journey from Bernie along I-10 looks to be about 23 minutes at this hour. 281 southbound heading in from Bulverde, no need to hurry, 26 minutes for drivers. And it's not too awful along 35 southbound from New Braunfels. We have a 24-minute drive time for folks that are hitting the roads this early. But let's get another look around town. There's US 90 at Loop 410. Traffic is moving great for the most part, but I'll keep a close eye on things and have more updates for you coming up in the next few minutes. RJ.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio fire crews had to rescue 2 women from a burning duplex overnight. This happened just before midnight in the 1300 block of Bayou Drive on the city's west side near Marbach. Firefighters say flames that spread to another duplex. Everyone made it out safely. However, a dog died during this fire. Crews were able to knock down the fire quickly once they got in there and say it could have been much worse.
Firefighters also worked quickly to put out a fire at a west side home. This happened just before 11 on Oriole Drive near St. Mary's University. San Antonio police say the home was empty when the fire started and no one was hurt, but it's unclear how it started.
Legendary Texas singer and songwriter Charlie Robinson has died after turning 59 just a few days ago. Robinson was a Bandera native and a mainstay on country charts until a procedure on his throat left him unable to sing back in 2018. A family representative told the Associated Press that he died yesterday in a San Antonio hospital after suffering cardiac arrest.
Topping your morning headlines, a death toll in Morocco continues to rise after a devastating earthquake killed thousands over the weekend. So right now, rescue teams are searching through rubble for any signs of life as teams from other countries stand by, ready to assist. The 6.8 magnitude earthquake is Morocco's deadliest quake in more than 6 decades. At least 2,100 people were killed, with thousands more injured. A woman visiting from Los Angeles says she ran outside with nothing but her phone.
That's when I realized something's going wrong. And all the walls literally felt like Play-Doh, and the floor just felt as if it was melting underneath my knees. I thought, I'm gonna die. This is a really bad earthquake.
Rescue efforts are still a challenge since teams have mountainous roads to reach the village that were hit the hardest. So Morocco is asking for all the help they can get from around the globe.
And back in the U.S., the search continues for convicted killer Danilo Cavalcante, who escaped from a Pennsylvania prison over a week ago. The fugitive, who is now clean-shaven and wearing a hoodie, slipped through a police perimeter that was covered by up to 400 officers. Authorities were pressed repeatedly about how the fugitive was able to breach a 4-square-mile containment zone.
I'm not going to make an excuse to you. I wish it had not happened. Unfortunately, there are a lot of circumstances, there are a lot of issues associated with that property. You couple that with weather, aviation being down for a night, there are a number of reasons. Again, no excuses.
Police believe Cavalcante is still in Pennsylvania, and they're urging people in the area to secure their cars. A $20,000 reward is offered in the search.
Well, today marks 22 years since the attacks of 9/11. For many Americans, that September morning is a distant memory.
But for many others, the pain is a constant presence. Their stories are ones we cannot and should not forget. Here's ABC's Derek Dennis.
Last night, the tribute in lights shining upward during a test hours before the official tribute to the victims of the World Trade Center attacks 22 years ago today. Robert Gray worked for NORAD that day, monitoring U.S. airspace. He visited the World Trade Center site last night.
As we walked into this area, it made me start to weep.
2,753 people died in Lower Manhattan that day, and just this weekend, the remains of 2 more were identified by the medical examiner. 40% of those lost are still unidentified.
We saw this plane flying at a very low altitude, extremely fast, but was so low I could read on the fuselage the word American.
Joe Pfeiffer was the first fire chief on the scene. His job sending firefighters in to save lives, including his own brother, Kevin.
I ordered him, as I ordered many of my other fire officers, to take their unit and go upstairs to evacuate the building.
Kevin died in the collapse of the towers, but many others were saved by the men and women who rushed into those buildings, knowing they might not come out alive. James Brosey, president of the Uniformed Fire Officers Association, lost his father, a fire department lieutenant who responded to the scene. He died just this year from a 9/11 related cancer. 341 members of New York's fire department have now succumbed to ground zero related illnesses.
Unfortunately, the exposure of that day and the days that followed during the rescue and recovery efforts have really started to take its toll. My brother was also in the collapse at the time. He has some other debilitating side effects from that exposure as well.
For Robert Gray, reflecting at the site last night, the lesson 22 years later is this:
we need to be ready for anything.
The testing of remains all these years later is part of a solemn pledge to keep identifying victims for as long as it takes so that the families of as many victims as possible can have closure. ABC News Live will bring you coverage of today's remembrance services throughout the day. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
It's 6:09 and 79 degrees.
All right, coming up, you may be able to Uber your chores in the near future. That sounds awesome. How this would work, coming up before 6:30. Plus,
Road gets it out. Barkley got hit, fumbled right in the air, and it flies into the hands for a touchdown at DeRom Bland.
Cowboys starting off the season strong. Let's go, boys. They have a lot to celebrate. They head to work this morning. That's all of the fans like myself and RJ. A highlights reaction from Sunday Night Football. That's next.
that look says it all right there. All right, taking a look outside with live cam. Things looking pretty good. So we get ready for the sun to rise to start your work week. Going to give you the very latest weather and traffic coming right up.